Bonjour à tous et bienvenue sur ce 10e épisode de l'aventure Enderal. Donc, non, on n'est pas retourné au tout début du jeu, enfin, en tout cas je l'espère. Mais ce qui est sûr, c'est qu'il y a un truc de pas normal qui se passe là. Donc pour résumer un peu l'épisode précédent, pendant que je marche pas très vite, donc on a appris qu'il y avait un groupe de Nériméens qui avait débarqué près d'Enderal dans l'objectif de nous empêcher d'avancer dans nos recherches contre la purge. En fait, les Nériméens pensent que la purge ne va pas détruire l'humanité, que c'est un passage obligé pour l'humanité afin de devenir une espèce d'humanité version 2. Et donc on s'est introduit dans leur campement. On devait placer ce qui s'appelle une plaque d'argent pour pouvoir les écouter à distance. Mais malheureusement, Jespar et moi, on a été capturés par les soldats nériméens. Donc ils nous ont interrogés. Et à la suite des interrogatoires, ils nous ont relâchés. Et donc on se retrouve ici. Je sais pas trop pourquoi. Et je suis désolé, je peux pas aller plus vite. Apparemment on transporte trop de choses et je peux pas accéder à mon inventaire. Ouais, il est ensanglanté, on est bien d'accord. Oula! Il est même affreux.
Well, look who's here. How are you doing, silly? Still on the search?
Oui, papa, et je pense que je sais où le trouver maintenant.
Is that so? Honestly, I find that a little hard to believe. But I guess you know what you're doing, don't you? You always did. Come on, let's go inside. I've prepared a little surprise. Or should I say a big one? I suppose that depends on how you look at it.
L'appartement est comme la dernière fois.
Ta-da-da-da! Look who I dug out. It's mother and little sister. Aren't they beautiful?
Wow.
Aren't we beautiful? Aren't we beautiful?
But I suppose what we dead people do doesn't concern you now, does it, my child? Because you are important now. Ha! Can you believe it? He's important now. He is chosen.
Chosen.
But you know, I think you've forgotten something amidst all this ballyhoo of prophecies, cleansings, and beacons. That you are weak. You are pathetic. You are worthless. And you are weak. That's what you were back then. That's what you are now. And that's what you'll always be. Saving lives? You? Ridiculous! But then again, maybe we do you wrong. So why don't you just tell us? Why you? Why should you, of all people, be the solution to the problem? Why should you be able to prevent something that has happened to mankind for thousands of years? You!
Je ne sais pas, papa.
That's right. You don't know. Because you are a stupid, dirty brat. A murdering, stupid brat and nothing else. See? You did it again. You made me unhappy. You made me curse. And cursing is a sin. Don't you understand? I'm only trying to help you to see. This is not you, don't you understand? You are not yourself. And deep down inside, you know it as much as I do.
You know it. You know it.
So, tell me, silly, why is it so hard for you to just let go? Your place is here, in the realm of the dead. So just let yourself fall. It only hurts in the beginning, you know? Then it's like falling asleep. Please, my child, we miss you so much. Little sister wants to play with you again.
Play with you. Play with
And
you.
two of us, we could go hunting again, like back in the old days. Find ourselves a nice deer, and then have a good, juicy piece of meat for dinner. But do you even listen to me? Hey, you're not supposed to leave yet. You're already here. So why don't you just stay? Please, child, stay with us. 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 Stay with us.
Stay with me. Hey, can you hear me?
Reste avec moi.
Bad dreams?
Oui, oui, carrément. C'est celui dont je vous ai parlé.
Anyway, it's over now. And we're lucky we woke up at all. That raft Coarek put us on was about as seaworthy as a paper ship. But thank the sun, that fisherwoman over there took us in. She's headed for Duneville, and we should arrive soon.
Ah, je me disais bien que c'était pas le radeau que Coarek nous avait prêté. Ça paraît un peu trop propre. Combien de temps est-ce que j'ai dormi?
Couple of hours. That spell Corek's mute buddy put on you must have been quite a doozy. They felt the blow to the back of the head would suffice for me. Guess I was the lucky one.
Bon. Est-ce que vous avez entendu ce qui s'est passé? La conversation d'Enderal et de Coarek.
Yeah. That guy should really go easier on the bottle, if you ask me. But it seems that the thousands who follow him see things differently. As if the high ones alone weren't threat enough. Now they have a self-proclaimed messiah to back them up. That's just peachy.
Je suis pas vraiment sûr d'avoir compris ce que Coarek veut de nous. Détruire la balise, c'est ça?
Well, as I heard it, he thinks the cleansing is evolution. We become higher beings. We ascend to a new level of existence, so to speak. And he thinks the reason for the red madness in Enderal is that people still haven't learned the truth about the death of the Lightborn. They're still superstitious, so the sickness weeds them out. Natural selection. And yeah, it sounds absurd. I guess people always see what they want to see.
Ça signifie la guerre. Les Nériméens vont envahir Enderal.
I'm afraid so. According to the fisherwoman, the first of Corek's battleships have already arrived near Duneville. It'll take them a while to get the rest of their fleet over here from Narim, but still. Enderal isn't ready for this. Not at all. Most guards haven't tried their weapons on anything other than training dummies, or at the most, bandits. In other words, we're screwed.
Putain. Et maintenant, qu'est-ce qu'on fait?
Well, I guess first of all, we should be grateful we made it out alive. I bet that if Coarek would have known your role in all this, we'd be as dead as doornails by now. Once we arrive in Duneville, we should get back to Ark as soon as possible. I'm sure Arenthiel and the others have already written us off as dead. I suggest you ask the fisherwoman how much farther it is to the village.
Et vous, qu'est-ce que vous allez faire?
Well, I suppose first of all I'll go get my pay. Regardless of what transpired, we fulfilled our mission. After that, I don't know. War is an entirely different story, and ending up beaten to a pulp with a damned warhammer certainly isn't on my priority list.
Donc vous allez fuir?
Maybe. The Order might be powerful here in Enderal, but compared to Narim's army, it's a joke. And maybe... On the other hand, if we don't manage to stop the cleansing from happening, it won't make a difference if I'm here or on Calais. Oh, my, what did I get myself into? I feel like a bloody marionette in a goddamn play.
Pour ce que ça vaut, je préférerais que vous aidiez à combattre Nérim plutôt que d'être sur une plage de Kilé.
It is. Even though the Calais beach would probably be better for my health than joining your cause. Enemy invasions, mysterious corpses. You seem to attract trouble wherever you go, as we've seen more than once now. You know, there's one thing I just couldn't get out of my head since all this started. Does mankind deserve to be saved? I mean, Have we as a species really made this world a better place? What have we accomplished apart from bloodbaths and wars in the name of the true gods or the right way to see things? And even now that we have a common enemy, we fail spectacularly to pull together. That's pathetic somehow, isn't it? Just pathetic. Heck, I sound like the biggest cynic alive.
Oui,
Let's stop here
carrément.
before it gets any worse. Go talk to the fisherwoman.
Ça va d'ailleurs? Enfin, je veux dire, vous semblez quelque peu troublé.
You're really curious, aren't you? But yes, there is something that troubles me apart from the obvious. It's my sister.
Attila? Eh bien, quoi, qu'est-ce qui lui arrive?
Well, I told you that we haven't talked much since, you know, since the thing with our family happened.
Oui.
A couple of moons before we met, I wanted to change that, and I went to see her at the League of the Apothecary in the Frostcliff Mountains. But she was gone, just like that, and no one knew where she went. It's been troubling me for quite some time now. It's probably nothing, but still, I'm worried.
Bon, faut que je me débarrasse de certaines choses. Et je transporte pas trop de trucs. Ah, ça devait être un bug. Bonjour.
Ah, you're awake. How are you? No offense, but you look battered.
Ah bah je vais... je vais pas le prendre mal. Hein. Je dis... Bah... Ouais, je vais pas si mal. Dans ces circonstances, je suppose. Merci de nous avoir sauvés.
Don't thank me. I only did what every other path-abiding citizen would have done as well. Your friend, he told me about the Naramis. War. I have trouble believing it.
Dans tous les cas, vous devriez vous préparer, je pense. Ils attaqueront probablement d'abord les villages côtiers.
Oh, how very reassuring to hear that. But I guess we're well off in Duneville. As long as they don't break through the cavern gate, there's no way they can get inside the town.
Bah, je l'espère pour
Of
vous.
course, that doesn't apply to the plantations and mines. Oh, blazes. Such chaos. Those bloody Naramis. Nothing is sacred to them anymore, is it? For millennia there was peace between the lands of the civilized world. And now this. They're heretics, if you ask me. No more and no less. They should be hung from trees, all of them. Anyway, I guess it's best if you rest a little more. As I said, you look as though you need it. I'll wake you up when we arrive.
Merci beaucoup.
I will do our best. I didn't think I'd ever say this, but right now I'd give a lot for the Art Guard to be here instead of these Duneville watchdogs. At least they know how to wage a war. In any case, you should get back to the Sun Temple as soon as possible, and show those Naramis bastards whose country this is.
We will. And again, thanks for your help.
Don't mention it.
So, we should be back within range of the teleport runes. I'm gonna head straight back to the temple. See you there.
D'accord.
Bloody weather.
En fait, il était dans l'Emporium.
Ridiculous. We have to at least try to negotiate.
You know his demands. There's no basis for negotiation.
He has not seen what we have seen. The writings, the memories of the Prophet. If he just realized...
My dams, My sirs,
Shit. What took you so long? And where is Constantine?
that's a long story.
Ah ouais, une très longue histoire. Et pas très drôle.
And those were his final words? I can't believe it.
Simply another victim of the High Ones. If we do not activate the beacon soon, he won't be the last.
Oh, right. The beacon. If it's activated, we'll simply glow the red madness away, won't we? Or maybe we could, for once in all this, do something that actually makes sense, and focus our resources on finding an alchemistical or thaumaturgical solution to this problem, rather than trusting in a pile of scrap metal.
Oh, by the prophet's ass, won't you just shut up for a minute? All day long you do nothing but babble, getting on our nerves, and nothing you ever say gets any closer to a fucking solution. So why don't you just shove off to one of the bathhouses? Go torture the washerwomen with your never-ending lamentations. That would be helpful for a change.
You will take that back.
Will I? Come here and make me. I'd be delighted.
Blasphemy!
Guard your
This is
tongue, wild
blasphemy!
maid, or...
Or what? Are you gonna kill me? That's what you do best, you and your fucking order.
Silence! You are angry, Lishari Pegast, and I understand why. But in the moment you let that anger destroy this alliance, Firespark's sacrifice will have been in vain. Is that what you want? Is that what you want?
No. No, it isn't.
Good. I am tired of this endless bickering. We have a responsibility, and we will fulfill it.
Well said, Aranthiel. And how exactly do you think we are going to do that? Without the sources, the beacon is as worthless as a heap of rusty iron.
The chroniclers are on it, and they will find the answer. Novice, tell Commander Aaron to join us. We need to plan the defense of the land. You, Prophet, will come to me as soon as you have recovered. Now, let us get to work.
Non.
Please, Tilor, Jorek is right. A war with Neri...
Lishari.
The sun be praised you've made it.
I know that it is going to
Constantine.
be tough.
He didn't deserve this.
The beacon
It's
is
just
all
not
that we
fair.
have.
Yes, the beacon,
Je suis
the
totalement
beacon,
d'accord.
the beacon. We don't even know what this thing does, let alone if it will work. If you start a war,
Oui, c'est complètement
that
injuste.
machine, it means
Someone
putting
is
the
gonna
lives
pay
of
for it.
thousands at risk,
I'll
only
see
because
to
of some
that.
vague idea.
I have to talk to you as soon as possible. It's about the seal in that letter we found on the mercenaries in Old Rationgrad.
Yes,
I
because
believe
that
I'm
land
onto
is
something.
Oh,
I've made
d'accord.
decisions driven by fear and
Their
selfishness
client is from
before,
Enderal.
and they were always
From
wrong.
Ark, to be more
I will not
precise.
let that happen
Let's
again.
not talk here, though. Meet me in the
See,
Dancing Nomad.
Stop
I'll be in the
acting
first room upstairs, right at the end of the
You're just
staircase.
afraid of making
Ça marche.
And hurry.
for what you believe in. You always were.
Mais pourquoi ne pas m'en parler maintenant?
Sacrifices.
Well, why do you
This is
think?
about your damn
Come to the
pride,
Dancing
Tilor,
Nomad after you've
nothing
spoken
else.
with Aranthiel. See you there.
T'es à l'heure? Bon. Je vais te suivre. Je voulais choper Jespar avant qu'il s'en aille. Je crois que je l'ai loupé. Ah, mais c'est Kalia. Salut.
Zaira, I heard about what happened on Half Moon Island. It's a wonder you and that mercenary made it back alive. But war, it just seems so unreal. How has it come to this? Now we not only have to fight these High Ones, but also some fanatic who thinks he knows best.
Ouais. Ce qui est hallucinant, c'est que Coarek semble tellement convaincu de faire ce qui est juste. C'est comme s'ils étaient l'utilisaient.
If they are, then maybe we were foolish to think that the Red Madness is the only weapon at their disposal. Tell me, Saira, how is it possible that our beliefs about what's best for mankind are so different? Why are we so eager to be at each other's throats?
Je pense que la violence est souvent une réponse facile, en particulier si les temps sont durs, ce qui est le cas actuellement.
Suffering leads to more suffering. Yes, that makes sense. You know what I find so hard to understand? Why there are so few people who actually care. So few people who feel the need to change something like you and I do. There are moments I just feel so powerless. As if we all know that if we keep going like this, we're headed for a catastrophe. But instead of changing course, we just stand by and watch. Do you know the feeling?
C'est peut-être dur à dire, mais vous ne pouvez pas vous attendre à ce que tout le monde soit aussi idéaliste que vous. En fin de compte, nous ne sommes responsables que de nous-mêmes.
I don't know. To me, that just sounds like an excuse. Whenever I think about it, I find it so hard not to get angry. Take all those upper city snobs with their colorful garments and exotic perfumes. They could put all that money to such good use if only they wanted to, but no, they don't, because they just don't give a damn about the poor. Sometimes I imagine going down there, grabbing one of them by the collar and dragging them down into the Undercity. And there I'd force them to see, just for once. But even that probably wouldn't help. I guess we only care about the things that directly affect us. Who fights against poverty if he's never suffered from it?
Vous, oui. Et c'est admirable.
No, it's not. It should be what everyone does. And once again, you've had to listen to another deluge of my whining. I guess I'm just not a person for pleasantries. Sorry.
Oui. Bah, attends. Et t'es en train de dire qu'elle pleurnichait quand même. Vous savez pas besoin d'être désolé. En fait, je pense que le monde aurait besoin de plus de gens comme vous.
Anyway, I need to make some preparations now. Master Bartar requested my support with something, and I shouldn't keep him waiting any longer.
Bon. C'est un peu chaud avec Elia parce que souvent quand je lui dis des trucs, elle désapprouve. Mais moi je veux pas dire ça en mode t'es conne. Je veux juste l'aider. De toute façon les relations sociales toujours un peu compliquées. Puis c'est un jeu vidéo, rappelons-le. Pourquoi tout ça? Votre querelle avec Natara dans l'Emporium?
Irrelevant. This madman, Coarek. He has completely reshuffled the cards. Now we not only have to deal with the High Ones, but also with him and his fanatics. However, there's also good news. You have probably seen it already.
Oui, j'ai vu que vous aviez réussi à reconstruire la balise.
Physically, yes. And we also know how it works now.
Ah, bah c'est bien.
And how it can put an end to the cycle.
C'est parfait. Comment est-ce qu'on va procéder?
It is easier than we thought. The beacon was constructed for one thing, to destroy the High Ones. Once reconstructed, infused with energy and activated, lit, as the Pyreans called it, it can banish the High Ones from this plane of existence.
Les détruire. Comment est-ce censé fonctionner? Pour moi, les éthérés sont...
Immaterial, indeed. Essentially, they can be compared to the cold or to shadows. Omnipresent elements, yet we cannot touch them. Energy, if you will. However, there is a counterpart to each energy. Cold and fire, shadow and light. The High Ones and the beacon.
Ce que vous voulez dire, c'est que la balise est une sorte de double à ce que sont les éthérés.
Yes. Imagine a torch driving away the darkness in the moment it is ignited. This is what the beacon can do, except that the banishing will be permanent.
D'accord. Donc ça semble bien. Mais qu'est-ce qui nous empêche de l'allumer? Sharim a mentionné des sources.
Yes, as I said, it needs to be infused with energy before it can be lit. I take it you have noticed the 3 sockets on its base. They are what it draws its power from. Once they are filled, the beacon can be ignited and the High Ones will be undone, once and for all. At least, if the old writings are true. The only thing left for us to find out is what these energy sources are. But we are close. Give the Arcanists some more time and I will let you know if there's any news. In the meantime, get equipped accordingly. Some of the Nerimes have landed already, and outbreaks of the Red Madness become more and more frequent as we speak.
La Trichessa a parlé de quelque chose sur ce qui s'est passé en Kira. Qu'est-ce qu'elle voulait dire par là?
Well, it's only fair to tell you. You've always been honest to me, so I will do the same. Have you ever heard of the Night of the Thousand Fires?
Alors, non, pas du tout.
Between 8,192 and 8,202, there was an underground movement in Kira called the Red Half Moon. They were brought into being by a group of intellectuals and philosophers who, under all the freedom of thought Saldrine granted them, started questioning the reign of the Golden Queen, and thus the Lightborn themselves.
Donc j'imagine que la mi-lune rouge a essayé de mettre fin au règne des dieux, comme le fit votre fils, c'est exact?
Correct, just as my son did. But other than him, they fought like cowards. Terror, dust crystals planted in the marketplaces, and assassinations, you name it. If they killed innocents, they blamed the Golden Queen, and if they killed her soldiers, they celebrated themselves as liberators. However, they never succeeded in putting her down, and neither did she in destroying them, which is why the court turned to the Lightborn for help. A division of the Holy Order led by me, a young keeper of barely 30 winters.
Pourquoi est-ce que vous avez dû faire tout ce chemin depuis Enderal? L'ordre ne possédait-il pas un bastion en Kira?
None to be taken seriously. You know, not everywhere is the Order as present as here on Enderal, or as it once was on Narim. In Kira, we were ridiculed. I saw the Kiranian keepers who served the Golden Queen. A bunch of decadent gluttons who had dedicated themselves to the court's banquets rather than to the will of the gods. They were pathetic.
Et qu'est-ce qui s'est passé?
A moon after our arrival, we received an anonymous tip on where one of the Half Moon's bases was supposed to be located, in a small coastal village. As we entered it, we were greeted by the township's elders, and the villagers themselves had gathered behind them. You should have seen how they stared at us, as if we were plunderers. I should have seen by then that something was wrong.
Comment ça se fait que les villageois vous craignaient? Ils étaient pas au courant que vous aviez été envoyé par la reine?
Yes, but if there was one thing the Red Half Moon was good at, it was sowing lies. According to them, we were nothing but butchers who executed everyone unable to recite the revelation word for word.
Je pense pouvoir deviner ce qui s'est passé. Donc tout ça n'était qu'un piège.
That's what they wanted us to think, and they did a good job at that. A veiled person here, an archer on the rooftops there. I got nervous, because villagers are not, they bested us in numbers, and they had kettled us. Then a man seemed to charge at us, and I gave the order to draw weapons. It was just the spark they needed.
Ça s'est transformé en bataille.
No, not a fight. A massacre. The villagers had pitchforks and shepherd staffs, and we had shadow steel swords, let alone the fact that we were trained warriors. I realized that I had made a mistake a split second after it started, but it was too late by then. My men, they slaughtered them all, like pigs. At the end of the day, 300 people were dead, and only 10 of them were keepers.
Putain. Et vous ne pouviez rien faire pour arrêter le combat?
Have you ever been in a big battle? Even if my men would have stopped, the villagers were blinded with rage and panic. No. From the moment I gave the order, it was too late.
Donc la mi-lune rouge avait tout prémédité. Ouais, je comprends. Mais pourquoi? Pourquoi souhaitait-il le massacre de tout un village?
Well, what better proof of the Lightborn's cruelty is there than a division of keepers who, out of pure wickedness, slaughtered an entire village, women, children included. If the people had already distrusted us before that distrust had turned into hatred, then nothing could have changed that, not even the Golden Queen's heralds. We set sail back to Enderal a week later. 2 years after that, the Red Half Moon destroyed itself due to infighting. Ironic, isn't it?
Vous avez paniqué, les choses ont dégénéré. Je pense qu'on a tous le droit à une seconde chance. On a tous le droit de faire des erreurs. Il n'y a pas de honte à cela.
Maybe. The Lightborn and the Grandmaster back at that time showed the compassion I wouldn't grant myself. But I learned one thing, and that is that I will never again let fears about my own life influence my decisions. What happened in Kira was the consequence of my own cowardice, and my unwillingness to give my life for a just cause. That will never happen again.
Assez noble de sa part. Il y a une chose que je vais vous dire. Sur l'île Mi-Lune, les éthérés m'ont dit quelque chose.
What?
Taranor Coarek se voit lui aussi comme un des émissaires. Il se voit comme le Messie.
Really? That's interesting. Provided this is true, that means that the emissaries aren't just people who fight the cleansing. They are people who fight for it too. And that also means that whoever granted us our powers and our purpose isn't an enemy of the High Ones, but a neutral party.
C'est ça peut peut-être être un peu plus compliqué que ça, je pense. Les éthérés ont aussi dit que Coarek se trompe et qu'il n'est pas vraiment un émissaire. Et que vous ne l'êtes pas non plus.
I beg your pardon.
Eh bien, selon les éthérés, Coarek se prend pour un émissaire uniquement parce qu'il veut se sentir important.
What? And the same goes for me? That's ridiculous. They wanted to deceive you, to sow discord. I saw the threat the cleansing posed before anyone else did. And without me, we would have never come that far. Something changed inside me since I fled from my prison. I feel it. And it is the same thing that made you a part of all this. Now, enough of this.
Merde, je l'ai fâché.
There you are. I've been looking for you for days. Do you remember me? You, helped me.
Ah, mais
back in the
oui.
ruin.
C'est ça, l'ancien d'Autulgrad. Vous étiez ce fermier qui...
Shh, not here. I just came to thank you. Thanks to you, I was able to pay me debts. And both my family and the farm are safe once again. As you can imagine, I don't have any money to show you my gratitude. But I thought that this might be useful to you. Take it. It's the least I can do.
Gift d'apprentissage. Si vous avez passé le plus dur, vous devriez penser à faire amende honorable.
Aye, of course. I'm working on it. Walk blessed, and may your path always be even.
C'est ici.
War after all these centuries.
Alors, premier étage.
Wait a moment. You're an outlander, aren't you?
Oh putain.
Prophet, are you in there? Kirat, what? Why? What have you done?
Ah non, 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 tu vas pas m'accuser. Je pourrais vous poser exactement la même question. Étrange coïncidence que vous soyez aussi ici.
Watch your tongue, Shari. Be glad that the blood is already dry, or else you'd be nothing but a pile of bones by now. Forgive me. I just can't believe it. Anyone but Lashari? Yes, I know, Nea. But she was a good woman. We both know that we're not involved in this. So please tell me why you and Lashari wanted to meet up here? Were the two of you close? It's been a while since there was a man at Lashari's side.
Non, c'est pas vraiment ce qui se passait. C'était pas comme ça.
So why?
Ah merde. Peut-être que c'est lui qui l'a buté. Donc si je lui parle de l'ancien Rashengrad... Ah... Je vais lui mentir. Lishari voulait me dire quelque chose à propos de mon don.
Your gift. I see. But then who has killed her? This doesn't make any sense. Maybe the murderer has left a clue. We have to search.
Oui, cherchons. Mais toi tu restes à l'extérieur, ok? Non, putain. Y'a rien. Son corps est encore chaud. Bouteille de cendréclat.
Let me see. Yes, this could be our clue.
Une bouteille de cendréclat? Elle pourrait pas tout simplement appartenir à Lishari?
No, certainly not. But come to think about it, it doesn't really help us either. There are so many dust addicts in Ark, it would take years just to count them. Oh, by the name of the sun, I will inform the Order.
Je pense qu'il faudrait peut-être continuer à chercher.
Yes, you do that. But come back to the temple as soon as you're finished, all right? The Archmagister has found something out about those sources we need for the beacon, even though he paid a high price for it.
Oh putain. Constantin, puis maintenant Lichari. Non, y a rien. Je crois que j'ai fait le tour. Y a rien. Ah non, y a rien d'autre. Putain. Oh, ça me fait chier. On est en train de perdre tout le monde. Je l'aimais bien, les charries.
The fabled prodigy. I hope you can live up to what they say about you. I really do.
Ah, if it isn't the prophet. What's wrong? You look troubled.
Lichari, elle est morte. Quelqu'un l'a assassinée.
I know. Shah Rim has already told me. I hardly knew her, but it's horrible. Different ideologies or not, she was a fine young mage, and her knowledge of the Pyreans was impressive. We need to find the ones who did this, and fast. But you probably already know that. Thank Malphus we just had a breakthrough with the beacon.
Oui, Yuslan m'en a parlé. Est-ce que ça signifie que nous savons maintenant ce qui manque?
At least as far as the sockets go, yes. In the old tablets you found in old Dothugrat, there's talk of black embers, which are supposed to be some kind of energy supply for the machine.
Les braises noires, c'est ça? Est-ce qu'il y a des indices sur ce que ce pourrait être?
This is what we've been asking ourselves over the past few weeks, and then it fell like pelt from our eyes. The Pyreans were talking about the Black Pearls. Old jewels, sometimes known as Blackstones. They appeared for the first time in the Golden Era, and every self-important noble literally fought to get one in his possession. Apparently they originated from Stormwind, the old city in the heart of Arctwind. They changed owners for decades, sometimes by violence, sometimes by gold. The whole thing only stopped when the owners took note of an undesirable side effect, if you like.
Ces pierres étaient maudites.
No, at least not with any known magic. And that's what's so strange about it. Nevertheless, all of their owners eventually shared the same fate. Countess Catua from Nerim, for example, whose castle burnt down to its foundations. According to a survivor of this tragedy, she was to blame for that. He claimed that he saw her the night it happened, laughing hysterically and dancing in the dining room and summoning waves of fire all around her. She was not previously known to have any magical talent in her.
Donc ces joyaux ont donné à leurs propriétaires des pouvoirs magiques.
Correct. Plus, all of them eventually showed similar symptoms of delusion, like those possessed by the Red Madness do. A peculiar coincidence, if you ask me.
Ouais, mais je crois que les coïncidences, ça ne fait plus rien. Il y en a tellement. Mais qu'est-ce qui s'est passé une fois que la nouvelle s'est répandue? Que les pierres étaient maudites, je veux dire.
Not quite.
Those who owned a pearl tried to get rid of it, or lock it up somewhere safe, and eventually they fell into oblivion. Tell him your theory, Archmagister.
Yes, of course. We believe that the stones carry energy, pure, uncontrolled magic, and that the High Ones use them for their own purposes.
Vous voulez dire que les éthérés utilisent ces pierres pour rendre délibérément les gens fous?
Correct. The pearls' magic make their owners powerful, but the High Ones befoul them, so to speak. Like a poisoned potion. I know it sounds odd, but the parallels are too striking to ignore. The red shimmer in the victim's eyes, the slow descent into madness, and ultimately this irrational, destructive act of violence.
C'est vrai que ça fait gros. Mais tout ça, ça s'est produit il y a des siècles. Je pensais que les éthérés n'étaient apparus qu'avant la purge.
That's what we thought too, but it seems we were wrong. Maybe the High Ones never leave our planes at all, even after the cleansing. Maybe they are even part of this world, just like the tides or the elements. And the death of the gods is only what really sets them rolling, so to speak.
Mais qu'est-ce que les éthérés y gagnent? Pourquoi ils feraient ça?
That's a question I've been asking myself since we first learned of the cycle. Who knows? Maybe they like for us to suffer. Or maybe they see us as we see ants, whose lives simply mean nothing. Or maybe the very concept of intentions is meaningless to them.
Bon, et vous pensez que la magie de ces pierres noires pourrait insuffler à la balise l'énergie dont elle a besoin?
That's what we think, yes. Nothing else in this world possesses that much raw power.
Which is why you will find them for us.
Mais si les éthérés ont empoisonné ces pierres, n'est-il pas dangereux de les apporter ici?
No, because we know what we are dealing with. Unlike those who fell victim to the stones. Imagine them as a powerful, magical sword. A fool won't know how to wield it and will eventually cut himself with it. A seasoned warrior, however, can use its power for his purposes. Which doesn't mean, however, that we will be careless with them. What we need is their energy, and once we have transferred that to the beacon, their shells will be useless to the High Ones.
Et comment exactement sommes-nous censés les trouver? Vous n'étiez pas en train de dire qu'ils étaient éparpillés dans tout Vin?
That's right, but we don't need all of them. The beacon has 3 sockets, and that is how many of the stones we will acquire.
D'accord.
Archmagister.
I studied the history of the pearls as a young arcanist, and I think that my notes might give you some hints as to where you should start looking. Give me until tomorrow. By then I will have prepared the relevant excerpts.
Bon, bah d'accord. Est-ce qu'il y a autre chose que je devrais savoir?
Just come to me whenever you have questions.
And hurry. I take it you have already noticed this, but Nerimi's troops are roaming our land and building outposts, and the Red Madness is also getting worse as we speak. Now go, Prophet. The sooner we find these stones, the better.
D'accord.
Let's hope he knows what he's doing.
Bon, on va se coucher. C'est la truche à ça.
What do you want, urchin child?
Je suis désolé de vous dire ça comme ça, mais est-ce que vous pouvez me dire c'est quoi le problème avec moi? Qu'est-ce que vous avez contre moi?
My problem with you? I don't have a problem with you. I have a problem with what you stand for. Tell me, Prophet, who built this temple? Which you enter and leave as frivolously as a sailor leaving a brothel.
I just don't see the fucking point.
Je ne sais pas, mais...
What did Malphas say to Dalcidocius after he succeeded in suppressing the Blood Moon riot?
Mais qu'est-ce que c'est? C'est un interrogatoire?
How goes the 100th verse of the Holy Path, which the novices have to recite each morning? What is the holiest tenet of the creed to every keeper of the sigil? Why is only the highest commander of the guard allowed to enter the temple?
Je vois ce que vous voulez dire. Je ne suis pas passé par vos rituels, ce qui à vos yeux me rend indigne d'être ici.
I applaud your cunning. You know nothing, neither of our faith nor of our country, And only because you happen to have strong magic in you, Aranthiel thinks that justifies desecrating our traditions. Do you know how few Endraleans, even those of the Sublime Path, are granted the novitiate? Are you aware how hard these novices have to train and learn in order to just be allowed to enter the trial? We're not some group of tavern regulars which you can just join and leave on a whim. We are the Holy Order. We are what has kept peace in this country for millennia. And only because Tila has doted on this idiocy of cycles and prophecies, he feels it's justified to abolish this country's foundations with a flick of his fingers. You, urchin child, you're the living proof of what has become of this country. Even just your boot prints on this sacred ground are blasphemy to everything we stand for.
Comment est-ce que vous pouvez dire ces idioties de cycles et de prophéties? Vous ne voyez donc toujours pas que c'est réel?
What I see is a country that now more than ever needs peace, stability, and a strong leading hand. And transforming this order into a bunch of fortune tellers, wild mages and thimble riggers will only make the situation worse. Do you even know how many of our people were killed in the war Tila's fool of a son started? And now his former people, Pegast, Skyrim, whatever they call themselves, tread on these sacred grounds as if there were nothing more natural in the world. Now leave. Do what you want, but spare me your presence.
Au moins j'aurais essayé. On peut pas être ami avec tout le monde. Sur ce, on va s'arrêter là pour cette fois-ci. Je vous remercie d'avoir regardé l'épisode jusqu'au bout. Et je vous donne rendez-vous dans le prochain. Allez, à bientôt.